Give you a glimpse of to what's going on. 313 crore liters up to August 14. For the company, how much of a benefit for the industry can we see, and as well for your company?
As far as ethanol is concerned, I think I've been saying umpteen number of times that ethanol has been, as far as India is concerned, and we would definitely keep moving towards the contribution of ethanol to our overall revenue was about 10%, which has now become 20%. Ethanol today would be closer to about 40% of our overall sugar companies. Is that earlier we were about 4 or 5 months, so you were burdened with a very heavy inventory and interest burden. But with companies have improved big time, and you don't hear that sugar company Karnataka are delaying payment. So I think it's been good for the farmers. Our existing capacity from 720 KL to about 1400 KL right now, and we should be able to catch the season.
Hear that, and thank you for giving us numbers. Mr. Ravi, if I could get you in on the discussion as well. You know, ethanol supplies to OMCs in, up till August 14. As an OMC, how has, according to you?
Yes, for the last couple of years, the OMCs have really done well in working on the ethanol production capacities in surplus in UP, Maharashtra and Karnataka, whereas the demand centers are it, and we have ensured that we have adequate storage and also distribution mechanism to spread this ethanol across the country. As far as the outlook is concerned, so oil industry, we have signed up with about 100 plants to come up in the next 2.5 years, of about 800 crore liters. So currently, we are procuring around 400 to 450 crore. So put together in the next 2.5 demand side.
Before I get Mr. Jhunjhunwala in, President ISMA, Mr. Ravi, if I could just take a follow-up there, you know, because as I understand, BPCL is setting up an integrated two-Orissa. What kind of production facilities can we expect for ethanol from this particular, facility? And could
we at BPCL, we are setting up the first 2G based ethanol plant, most sugarcane or on the food grains, but here we are setting up by the next financial year. Along with that, we have also coupled it with which is more on food grain based. Both put together, the capex outlay is roughly about 1,600 crore, and actually, progress is already 60%. We have come running.
Off late, it's looking like these targets might be on the conservative side, but talk to us how things are in. That's what they'll want to know as well.
Yes. So if you remember, ISMA had a delegation with the government. We understand that the industry is in tune with the thought of the government, and we will be like in a production state ahead of the schedule. Now the issue would be how about the consumption side? And that is what we are looking for, that we have requested the government to start working on the flexi-fuel vehicles as well as hybrid flexi-fuel vehicles, which are prominent in Brazil and giving a 24 what we are looking for India. So we think now there is much more so that the consumption goes up. And the second thing we need to understand that there has been different state governments, feedstock should be made available for ethanol. These two things are the future, we think. And as ISMA target, we have 100 lakh tons of sugar which needs to be diverted, which is a surplus quantity which needs to be
I wanted to get in your view then, Mr. Chaturvedi, given that India has achieved this 10% ethanol blending already, this target of 20% by 20, looking at things now stacking up, if this target is actually achieved in terms of the growth potential for the industry as a whole.
Mr. Jhunjhunwala was talking about Brazil. The blending ratio is close to about 27%. And there's no reason once the flexi-fuel cars also come into play. The thought I'll put across to your viewers is that in the sugar belt or sugar producing states like UP, Karnataka or Maharashtra, the blending ratio is, what we are looking at is that the overall sugar disposal of that could probably be about 27.5 million ton goes for the domestic market. 5 million tons we estimate will get diverted this year. I'm talking to leave a closing balance of closer to about 7. And cane production is not going to come down because the cane is competing crops. And secondly, what used to be is no longer a problem. It's a boon now. And it's a win-win situation for all the stakeholders. And the other thing is that the government is not giving any subsidy.
Yes, it is. And Mr. Ravi, wanted to understand your outlook for the company. What are some of the other future investments that you've lined up for biofuels?
This 20% blend requirement, and that too spread across the country. So we have built up our storage capacities across the country for multimodal ways of transporting ethanol from to Karnataka, to Tamil Nadu, Kerala. Meaning supply side part of it, we have practically fixed the issue. Now the work has to happen on the demand side.
Give us a sense, Mr. Jhunjhunwala, as to what to Mr. Chaturvedi about this just a short while ago, the 10%.
Two things that the government has to get into alignment is the prices of ethanol and a better price on the sugar product, on the juice-based ethanol. Because the diversion will mostly happen on the juice-based ethanol and be heavy, or even more incentivized to have the people put up more capacities and divert more sugar into ethanol. So once that happens and the demand is there, I don't see there will be any problem from the industry for this requirement of 20%.
Let's move on